The Indian industry leaders expressed their happiness over the interim budget presented this morning. DD India's Dibyendu Mondal spoke to Naina Lal Kidwai to get her reaction to the budget. Take a listen.
And I'm joined by Naina Lal Kidwai. Welcome to Doordarshan, ma'am. Your first reaction on the interim budget?
Well, first and foremost, it was really good to hear the finance minister put forward what was the report card of what has been achieved. And we were expecting that, but sometimes you hear it all together, and it is an impressive story. I think many of us were taken aback by the fiscal deficit numbers, the commitment next year of going at 5.3, and there was a fear that while 5.3 was quite achievable, that given that it's an election year, are there going to be handouts, subsidies, etc.? And we actually don't adhere to the 5.3. But what indeed the finance minister has announced is 5.1. So actually taking the fiscal deficit further in hand, which must come from the government's comfort on tax buoyancy, revenue collection, growth. So they obviously have great insights on that. Focus on poor, women, youth, farmers. And we see mention, of course, of women, which is always a very exciting one. A good report card already by the government in terms of movements, in terms of representation in Parliament, etc., which she did mention.
And also the government's focus on the green sector, green energy sector. If you could briefly talk about that.
So green energy is a very big one. India's big success story in solar. This interim budget has a program now, a commitment for 1 gigawatt of wind. So wind is coming back into importance. And biomass saw frequent mention. We have to see what those programs look like. EVs, e-buses, and e-charging stations saw mention. So again, the focus on ensuring e-mobility in a way that is green was obviously also very much on this government's mind.
Thank you so much for speaking to Doordarshan, ma'am. This is Dibyendu Mondal with camera person Naveen from New Delhi for DD India.